So this is Karishma, and as from my channel, you know that I'm a teacher and a trainer, and I specialize in giving trainings on English lessons, grammar lessons, IELTS, and sometimes self feeling. So today I'm going to give you a list, a discussion we'll do on the topic. Uh, how to have a solution oriented mindset. So I'll be telling you some of the tips to have a solution oriented mindset, because I have seen that people actually exaggerate their problems and they blow it out of proportion. And in order to have a solution oriented you know mindset, you got to self reflection. We're sitting in the lockdown period and we might have done so much of self reflection. So one of the ways I'm not one of the ways, I'll be telling some of the ways in order to have a solution oriented mindset. So as we have experienced life, and we all know that life is not going to be a straight line, a bed of roses. It's going to be up and down. Yeah, so we'll be having challenges, we'll be having problems, and keeping that in mind and living with that mindset will always keep us ready to handle those problems. Now, once you have a solution oriented mindset, you will not be dwelling more into the problem. Rather, your mind will automatically shift to finding solutions to the problem. There are so many instances where I've seen in the workplace, in the family environment, that people create more problems. They have one problem, and instead of solving it, they actually create more problems for themselves by not solving it with the right strategy, or for not knowing how to divert their mind. There are so many instances that I face, especially in the work atmosphere, where people, if they are facing challenges, if they have been given a bad remark by the supervisor, what they'll do is, instead of accepting it, if it's productive. I am also kind of a person who do not take unnecessary criticism, but if it's productive, you got to take it. And there are ways that you know it yourself. So instead of just not accepting any flaw, what they do is they try to come around people, and their colleagues, and they try to pull them down as well, to create a similar atmosphere where everybody will be happy sitting in one place, down and depressed, and they can share it with each other. Maybe that's the mentality, that's why they do it. But I've seen most of the times, there are so many challenges other than this kind of a problem. Like, once what happened is, in the place that I was working, the software where we used to mark attendance was not working properly. Yeah, so instead of talking and confronting to the supervisor and telling that it's the software that belongs to the college that's not working, they were kind of shying away from the problem, and they were just talking to each other about it, and they were just accepting whatever remarks the seniors were sending them, that it's their problem, rather than talking to the supervisor and telling them that the college software needs some rectification, so that we are marking the attendance, and there are no errors from our side. The software from the software from the college needs to be fixed. This straightforwardness to this extent is required in order to solve the problem here. Why? Because in the long run, the problem will be solved then, not by circulating and discussing, gossiping about the problem will not solve it. So, as I talked about the workplace scenario, I would like to take up relationships and family scenarios, where people are not getting treated by certain family members, and they are just what they are doing is they are just talking behind the back about the problem, that is not going to help them in any which way. The next time again this problem is going to be created by these people coming in, ill treating whosoever is facing the problem, he's going to be he's going to be facing the same problem again and again. Not to solve it, you need to talk to that person right on the face. I don't know why straightforwardness is not that much used, but it's actually quite productive. So, okay, so today I'm going to tell you some of the ways in order to be solution oriented. And the first thing that you can do is you can set your intentions right. Right from the starting of the day, you need to make a decision that you're going to stay happy. No matter what challenges and the situations that come around, it's your responsibility. You're going to take responsibility of your temperament, that you're going to be happy. Yeah, so it requires some training of the mind. So when it will happen, there will be stumbling blocks in the initial days, but gradually you'll learn. When a challenge will come, when something that spoils your mood for an instant, it will, but then automatically you will consciously jump to the solution in order to get back to your previous happy environment. Yeah, so one way is to train your mind, and always the second step is always look at the bigger picture. There are so many places that I've worked, and wherever I've worked, I've seen colleagues, instead of solving the problem, they lie about it, they suppress it, they do politics over it. It looks like they find it as an opportunity to drag others down and just sit over them and get more opportunities for themselves rather than solving the problem. So, but this way they never learn to solve any problem, rather than just staying there in the same place doing all the rubbish, playing games, dirty games, and they are not going to reach any further, because when a critical situation will arrive, these people do not know how to solve the problem at all, because throughout their career they have only learned to hide it, suppress it, lie about it, blame it. So they haven't learned. They never learn to solve it. So when the critical situation comes, the only people who will survive and who will be called upon are the ones who actually know how to strategize, how to be solution oriented. So always look at the bigger picture, be expansive, and just ask yourself whether it's going to help you in the long run, whether you will be able to grow and expand in the long run. That is very, very important. And third step, whenever a problem comes, whenever it knocks on your door, for a moment everybody would be a little fearful, but then don't give in. Yeah, so as there is a famous quote, always say, why me? Say, try me. So one other way is, don't dwell into the problem for longer time. Just get back to your right frame of mindset and start finding solution with the right kind of energy. The next is, the one of the common thing that I've noticed is, whenever problem comes, they get into the trap of victim mentality, where they start sympathizing themselves and they forget about the need. They need to take charge of the situation and solve it. Rather, they crib, they complain, they put it on others, but that is not going to help them. So don't get into the victimization trap. Look at the bigger picture. I did tell you about it. So all these methods that I've mentioned, it's the solution that's going to help you in getting ahead, in surpassing the problem, and moving into the right kind of an environment further. So this is the topic that I've selected, is because in my life I've experienced people not solving problems. It's similar as some medicines that's been taken in order to just suppress the disease, and when it just comes, when it just blows out of proportion and staring right into the eyes, then they start thinking about it. So that's what the mindset I have accustomed to. Rather than whenever the problem comes, you should just hold it right there and then, like a bull's horn, and try to kill it there and then, because that's when not much of your energy will be utilized in order to solve it. When it's blown out of proportion, sometimes it becomes impossible to solve the problem as well. So having a solution oriented mindset in any environment, yeah, whether you are in a family environment, whether you are in a difficult relationship or a workplace environment, you should not ignore the first danger signs that that comes knocking on your door. You should just take it, you should just take it seriously, and you need to solve it. You need to start finding solutions for it there and then. So that was all for today. Thank you.